So it's taken me a while to film a Gilmore Girls Reading update, and part of that is because I just really did not like Madame Bovary, so I didn't feel like getting on here and talking about it. And it took a minute for me to sit with the story, sit with why it's important to come up with an opinion that I want to share. Madame Bovary was originally published as a newspaper serial in 1856 in France by Flaubert. It was in 1857 that the book was sent to trial for obscenity and under public scrutiny, and that's when it became a bestseller, which is super interesting and kind of relevant to how society treats books today. Books that are on banned lists or under scrutiny for similar content are now becoming widely popular. And honestly, the way that Flaubert describes Madame Bovary and the actions she takes, I don't see as female empowerment, even though that's kind of how it was interpreted, and I think how literary experts still interpret today. I'm sure they know way more about analyzing this text than I do, but as kind of a simple reader, the story didn't resonate with me. The characters were extremely unlikable, and the actions and behaviors that they exhibited weren't ones that resonated. So I was totally ready to get on here and say this book is absolutely unenjoyable, a 2-star read. I wouldn't recommend. But like I said, I've had a minute to sit and think about it. In fact, I originally started reading Madame Bovary back in October, and it took me such a long time to even get 100 pages in that I had to renew it twice from my public library, and I still didn't finish it before it was due. So I had to revisit it in January as an audiobook. I listened to it at 2 times speed and really did not enjoy the experience of getting to know these characters and trying to relate to them and understand them. I especially disliked Madame Bovary. To me, she felt like an incredibly spoiled girl who didn't comprehend the toll her actions would take on those around her, specifically her daughter. Her daughter was an innocent in this entire storyline, but probably one of the most mistreated characters that we barely hear anything about. To top it off, when the story ends and Madame Bovary is faced with the consequences of her actions, she chooses arsenic over actually being held accountable to those that she's harmed and mistreated. So at the end of the day, I was left with really mixed feelings.